Fearlessness. It's a good quality to have. Fearlessness, inside or out, can lead to getting people into situations that they shouldn't be in. But on the whole, fearlessness. Not many people go, "God, he's fearless." I hate that in people. Not many people say that, because people like fearlessness. The most fearless person I ever met, inmate and on road, same person, on the street. Yeah, for anyone that's just tuned in, if I ever say road, I'm talking about the street, freedom. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm better mates with his brother. Yeah, I'm good mates with his brother. I'm going to try and get hold of him. I haven't spoke to him for a little while, like my mate, and try and get him on here to interview him. Yeah, but I've got to get hold of him first. His brother, I'll just call him Matey, right? Out Canning Town, lived in Bow as well. Constantly in and out his whole life, in, out, in, out. So's my mate, the pair of them. In, out. They get in, they're out for weeks, months. Most of that'll be on the run, and then they're back in. It's a waste of a life, yeah. It's a waste. It's a waste. It's a waste. It's a waste. It's not a good way to live, yeah. It's just. And we're talking about Matey, yeah. We're talking about my mate. We're talking about Matey. Like I said, he wasn't. I knew him. Been out of him. Gone out and done a couple of things with him. Been away with him, yeah. But he's a hard person to get along with. Yeah, very hard person to get along with. His word is his bond. Yeah? He won't let you down. He's a loyal geezer, and he won't lie, and he don't mess about. And people that time wasters, he ain't got time for, right? But he's hard work. I've spoke about it before. I think I lasted a week in a cell with him when I've done a video about it. When I used that toothbrush, well, I was banged up with Matey the previous week before I got out of there. Went somewhere else. I was like, fuck, I can't handle this. Yeah, but fearless to a point. And like I said, everything about this geezer is sweet. He's loyal. He's honest. He's in and out of prison forever for basically sliding. Yeah, for those that know what sliding is, shame on you. For other people, I'm not going to explain it. Sliding is just sort of like in the films. If you can imagine, in the film, the closest thing I'm going to is when you are in the films and open doors with credit cards. Yeah, it's similar. It's not the same thing. You're not going to open it with a credit card, yeah, but it's similar. Like it's along those lines. He's in and out for that constantly. Pubs, restaurants, like money, like safes out of the pubs and the restaurants. Yeah, that's his bread and butter. Yeah, he gets that. He creeps, slides. He creeps. He gets the money. He lives in hotels for a couple of months, going here, there, and everywhere, driving about, just doing that, doing pubs, restaurants, anything that's got a safe in that you can slide the door. Yow lock. Only the yow lock. And by the way, if you want to stop people sliding, just put the thing down on your yow lock. Yow locks, you know, that little, so you can't turn the key, stops it. There you go. Yeah. And he'd do it on his own. I mean, that stuff gets your heart going. It's disgusting stuff to do. You shouldn't be involved in it. Have I ever done it? I've never been nicked for it. So I've been arrested for being in a conspiracy to allegedly be involved in 57 pubs, like attempted conspiracy to burgle 57 pubs, which went nowhere. Yeah, but he was involved. He got about a 5 or something. So I was arrested for it, but no, not this big dog. Yeah, and that sort of thing, yeah, right? Doesn't mean you're going to slide a door. Oh, I've slid it, and oh, cha-ching. That don't work like that. You might do 10, 20 in a row in a night before you actually find something, yeah? You slid them, successfully slid them, and then 10. I'm really not looking for sympathy here. Like, when people people know what I'm talking about, I'm really not looking for sympathy, but it is what it is. 10, 20 in a night, yeah? And then you'll find it. Yeah, or you might get one, there's a couple of yards, you might get a couple, there's like 80 quid, 70 quid, 100 quid. You've got to carry on until you get something worthwhile. Anyway, that was it. That was his bread and butter, not mine. Um, and if you're if you're out earning, grafting, and it's not going well, that's the sort of person you want with you. Yeah, I'm not condoning this behaviour. Go out and get a job, please. Everybody, go out and get a job, and the amount of money you will earn over time compared to the people that's going in and out of nick all the time, your wages will eclipse that, mate. Doesn't matter how much money you think you've earned on road, yeah, going out grafting. You add that up to the years you've done away. Only burger flippers earn more. You know what I mean? And that's not even against burger flippers, but people, you know what I'm saying? Toilet cleaners, whatever. And I'm a trained toilet cleaner. I'm not even putting them down. I'm just saying. Go out and get a job. It's a better way to live. I'm just saying this geezer's life, right? And it's a sad life. It's not even really a life, is it? This is his whole life. Creeping, going out, creeping, sliding night after night, getting dough. And he was one to talk to me before about stacking dough when you got it and all that. Which he didn't really do. He got involved in booting and the white as well. And yeah, not everybody that does that is, you know, sitting outside the shop with their begging bowl. Not everybody's doing that. That's that, and he definitely wasn't one of them. I mean, clothes was his thing. Apart from the white and the bee, clothes was his thing. Yeah, if you see him in anything less than £1,000 outfit, you'd be shocked. Yeah, he was a walking contradiction. This geezer, right? Yeah, fearless to a fault, right? So, like I said, if you're on the street and things are going wrong, that's the sort of person you want with you, because he won't go. You know, there's people that will be like whinging in your ear. Oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Oh, that's bait, that's bait. Don't do that, that's red hot. Don't touch that, that's hot, that's hot. You know what I mean? He'll be there, mate. You'll be saying that to him. Oh, whoa, 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 pull up, hold down, slow down. Just for those that know, he drove from Brighton before. From Brighton, what was he doing up there? All the way down, all the way back to Harlow, yeah? In less than 20 minutes. Less. It was not a good trip. Right? And being banged up with him is a different story, right? Again, if you want someone standing with you shoulder to shoulder, it will be there, and he's loyal. And even though me and him, we ain't mates really, he would have backed it in jail. He'd have backed it, and I would have been glad to have him there as well. You know what I mean? He was, yeah, but he was hard work because he did not care, because he had no fear of anything. He'd be hard work. I've said the story before. This is the same geezer that they tried to ship to. He was in like the Mount or High Down or something, some sea cat, and they tried to trick him in sending him to a dispersal, high security. He was only doing like 3 something. Because that's how much hard work he is. They tried to put him on I don't know, I wasn't there, but they tried to slap him on a sweatbox to Whitemore. He got all the way there. They got him on a sweatbox, got into Whitemore, and he just started doing dirty protest in the sweatbox. And if anyone knows, a sweatbox is a tiny little like plastic box you're in, a container with a chair in, plastic chair. Started doing a dirty protest in there outside Whitemore, I think it was. I might be wrong on the Whitemore, I'm sure it was Whitemore. Doing a dirty protest, chucking it under. Whitemore screws come along and went, take him back. Sent him back to the sea cat he come from. There was a geezer in Chelmsford, right? I think it was Chelmsford. I may be wrong on it. I may be wrong, but he was shotting, you know, selling things, shotting. And he had a lot of people around him, and people thought he was hard. Like could have a tear up. People thought he could have a fight, could have a tear up, this, that. He had a lot of dough around him, and matey, like we said, like the gear and all that, and he couldn't be in his cell sober. This geezer, right? He could not be in his cell sober. I'm not digging him out. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying he could not be in his cell sober. Anything, yeah. And I was the same, all right. But he was, whereas I would, you know, sort of graft, like I wouldn't act. I'd act one way, and he'd act, you know, in his cell, smashing it up way, you know. Which again, don't condone, don't do. But this is the way the geezer was. And the person that was selling, this geezer, used to talk down to people a little bit that he was serving up to, you know, like selling to. And so thingy, like matey, was like on the yard, exercise yard, get a 20 minutes out, walk around and all that in the fresh air. He's got anything, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And matey was murder to pay people as well. He was murder. Like he take whatever, and not even worry about paying, not even, you know, thinking about paying would come into his head 24 hours later, right? Never worried about nothing, and people used to give him things just to, yeah. He was a good person to have on side as well. Yeah, one of them ones, yeah. You know, go on. And they'd never expect to be paid, but this guy's always wanted to be paid. Fair enough, isn't it? Actually, saying that, fair enough. You want your money, but yeah, he did talk down to people, and matey, in front of everyone, started calling him something detrimental. Yeah, like a detrimental name in front of everyone. Like, yeah, but not in an angry way. You know, there's nothing you can do to me sort of way. Haha, this is what you are. Blah blah blah. Right, and the geezer was a boxer. That was it. The thing was, everyone thought he was a boxer. Everyone thought he was a boxer on the road and all that, yeah. But he was, apparently, but so what? This geezer, right, and matey's what, 5, I'm not tall, 5'10", 5'11", he's smaller than me, 5'9", not big, like I said, thing and all that, but he's ripped, you know what I'm saying? He's got, like, there's no fat on his body, but it's muscle, and he's ripped, slim, you know what I mean? He's wiry, and he can have a tear up. And he made this geezer look silly on the yard. Made him look absolutely silly. All his mates were there, but matey was on his own. He's always on his own. He's a bit of a loner, really. Yeah, absolutely done this shot-in boxer in front of everyone, and we carried on calling him the names as he was doing him. Yeah. They both got shipped out to another jail. You're talking long time past now. They both went to a CCAT somewhere. And then matey knew that he was on the wing. Turned up on the wing after him, I think. Pete was like, "Oh, look, he's trying to send word round to pay people to come and see you." Most people worry about it. To be honest with you, there's no doubt about it. You worry about it. You're going to do something about it. Like, thanks for telling me, and you're going to do something about it. He did. He should just laugh and just tell people what happened. Yeah, just carry on, like letting people know what this geezer was about. Never did nothing to him. That's what I say. He didn't worry about him, and this was to a fault. Because he didn't worry about him. This geezer did get 2 people to put tuna, like tins of tuna in socks, and yeah. And he'll tell you about it. He said, "Listen, what can I do? Like, he paid 2 people to do me, but he done him on the yard in front of everyone." So, but fearless to a fault, he didn't give this geezer a fault when he turned up in the other nick. He just thought, "Yeah, well, I've already done it. He is a plum." But yeah, he still had a bit of that, and he got him. But even that, people don't look down, and you feel like in the big scheme of things, he'd done someone on the yard in a one-on-one straightener in front of everyone. and then the geezer had to go and do a sneak attack to and pay people to do it. They did not even do it themselves. So, but the most fearless man I ever met. Yeah, if I had any more story, if I think of any more, I'm sure I can think of some more about this geezer. There's some funny ones. I'll let you know. Adios.